Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yak Productions. This is Joshua, aka Yak, and in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make money using Adobe Lightroom Classic. Now, Adobe Lightroom Classic costs about $10 a month, but your return on investment once you start using it professionally is astronomical. Now, on our previous episode, we left off on choosing the best photos in the shoot that we did. So we have that here, and we have it chosen raw, which is perfect. And now we are going to go down and we are going to open up Lightroom Classic. So we're going to wait for that to open up, and I'm going to show you guys what to do next. All right, so you might see something pop up. It would say choose a different catalog. That's what you want to choose a different catalog, and then create a new catalog. Open that up. It's going to make you create a folder. We're going to create that folder in the folder with our photos that we had took. This was Wing and Pot. We're going to name it Wings and Pot Lightroom. There we go. Wait for that to open up. And now next, let's expand it. We're going to go up to the top right and click library, and then from library we're going to go to the left side where it says folders. We are going to click that plus sign. Click the plus sign and then go to add folder, and then from there we are going to go into the folder that we did in our previous video. It was raw, and we chose all the photos and chosen raw, and we're going to choose that. It's going to do its thing. Now it's basically giving us confirmation. It's like, are you sure you want to use this folder right here? We're going to review it and be like, yeah, that's what we want to do. So then we go to the bottom right and we're going to click import, and it's going to slowly but surely import everything. As we can see at the top left, it's still loading. We're going to let it do its thing, and once it's finished doing its thing, we're going to go up to the top right again and go to develop. And there we go. We are in the money. I'm gonna run you by this step by step. This is really simple. Once you know it, you're gonna know it forever. So we're going to minimize all of that stuff. Now we're gonna go through it step by step, and it's going to be so easy for you to understand this. You're gonna notice in like the next 5 to 10 minutes. So at the right side, not the top right, but at the right side, we'll see a list of all the things that we're going to be using. The things that I use and how I personally make money with when it comes to photography editing is that I pull down my histogram. So histogram shows you the color levels, and it typically shows you if things are blown out or if it's right in the money. So histogram just shows you the color spectrum of things, and it's really good to follow. Next is basic. Basic is probably the most important one of all of these, and this just shows you the exposure, the contrast, highlights, etc, etc. And we typically just have the histogram popped up, have basic popped up, and then we are also going to have our color mixer. Color mixer is usually for saturation on specific colors. If you want to make yellows more brighter, if you want to make reds more brighter, so on and so forth. On the right side, histogram, basic, and color mixer are typically my go-tos. And if I'm getting a little more advanced, then I usually open up detail and I open up lens blur. That's just in case if I want to add a little extra. It makes AI blur out certain things in the background. It's typically a good thing. And detail is if you take a picture and things are pixelated, it kind of fine tunes that stuff out. So that's a little advanced. We're most likely not going to use it for the majority of our photos. So that is the right side. And if we go to the left side and open up the presets tab, this is basically the AI presets tab. It has AI presets. So for example, if we took a shot of a client, like an actual client, then we can add hair texture, we can enhance their clothes. So Adobe Lightroom Classic has integrated AI, so you can just choose things to do certain things for you, like enhance clothes or texture hair or so on and so forth. So these are my favorite ones. You guys can do the same thing. These typically work very well when I'm doing photo shoots for live subjects. When you put your cursor over these presets, it allows you to get a preview of it. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. Now, without further ado, what we are going to do is start with color correcting. So now that you kind of know the basics, now it's time for you to see the basics. So sometimes I like to go to auto. Auto sometimes work, and other times it absolutely does not work. So you don't always want to go to auto, but sometimes it does come in for the clutch. So this time it basically did come in for the clutch, but I do want it to be a little brighter. I want it to kind of pop a little bit. So we're going to move around a little bit of the highlights. We're going to play with it up and down. I feel like when it's more down, you can see more of the container that's holding the wings. Nice. The shadows, we're gonna kind of boost it up just a bit. Auto basically helped us out a lot. Auto helped us out a lot on this one, and like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it absolutely does not. The blacks, we don't want it too black, we want it to look inviting for lack of better words, not too much contrast, but we're gonna add that. So auto, yeah, auto helped a lot, so we're just playing around with what auto did. And this isn't my favorite photo, I know there are better ones later on, but you know, this is a good start. We just played around with the basic ones, the basic 6. So exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks are the basic 6, and then we have the other ones that we always want to use, which is vibrance and saturation. So the basic 8 is what we usually go to. Presence, we don't really need to do that because the AI presets on the left side typically help us out with all those for when it comes to the presence. So we really just want to look at the tone, everything in tone, and then the vibrance and saturation down here too. So I believe that this is probably the best we can get with this photo. On to the next one. So let's see what auto does with this one. Basically the same thing. So we're going to press Command Z. Command Z undoes the things that it added, so always remember that that is one of the universal ways to undo something. And keep in mind, this is on Mac. And if you want to ever redo something, if you like, oh no, I actually liked what auto did, or I liked how it was before, you're gonna press Shift Command Z, and then it's gonna take it back to what you undid, so it redid it. But we're going to just undo because I don't like how auto did that. What we're going to do is go back to the first photo that we edited, and then we're going to press Command C, and then it pops up everything that you want to copy. We want all the basic things copied, and then if you want to just look at this right here and just copy all the check marks that I have checked, that can help. So we're going to look at it all. Yeah, that's cool. And then we're going to press copy, and then we're going to go over to the picture that we want to paste it on, and then we're going to press Command V as in victorious. Cool. So now basically the same presets from this one went onto this one because they're basically the same photo, just a little angled differently. Now you know the basic key commands, and honestly from here you could just go on and see what works best for your photos. One more key command that is very important for Adobe Lightroom Classic is if you press Y on the keyboard, it will give you a comparison and contrast, a before and after picture, to see if you like the one before or if you like the one after, if you like the edits that you made. So if you want to take that off, you can just press Y again and it takes it back to the original thing. So those are all of the basic key commands that are used when it comes to Adobe Lightroom Classic. And now that you know all of the basics, all it takes is just for you to play around with these and see how you like your photo to come out. I want to show you guys one other thing. This is more of an advanced tool, but don't think of it as such. So under histogram and above basic, we have these 5 symbols here. So the one that we're under right now is edit. That one's always selected. The other one is crop and rotate. So this one is very important, that if you take shots and if it's a little crooked, you can straighten it out. My shot was a little crooked, so I'm straightening it out to get it to align with how the shot should look. So then once we want to get out of that, we just click the crop symbol again. To show you guys something even further is that if we wanted to remove something, this is another advanced tool. So let's say this little piece of lettuce on the right side. Let's say that we want to remove that and make it look like as if it's not there. We can click this eraser tool, this remove tool, or press Q to key command it. We have the remove, we have the heal, and we have the clone. I usually like to go to the heal. I'll make the size a little bigger, and then I will click that over the little piece of lettuce, and then I will drag that onto this piece of metal here. And since it's a little off, we're going to take that a little closer, and right here we'll click the remove thing again, and there it is. It's completely gone. There was never a piece of lettuce there to begin with. So that is a very, very useful tool. If there is stuff in your shot that you wish that you could have gotten rid of, you can get rid of it here. So very important there. So the other ones like red eye correction, I don't really use it. This is not really necessary for me to use. And this one over here, adding a mask, this is typically if you take shots of a subject like headshots or something, you can kind of change up the background or change the color of the background and enhance the colors and all that stuff. Sometimes I use this, but that's only if it is absolutely necessary. But everything else that you know so far is all that you really need to continue in getting your shots to be perfected. So we're going to time lapse this, and I'm going to see you at the end of the time lapse to show you guys how to properly export as well. So see y'all at the end of the time lapse. And there we go. We have all of our photos color corrected, color graded, aligned, and fixed. Now what we want to do is press Command A. It's going to select all of the photos. We have 89 photos, and then we're going to press Shift Command E. There's going to be 3 there. So after pressing Shift Command E is going to take us here. We have the export location. Let's make sure that we choose that and take it to our folder with the project file that we have done. So we're going to create a new folder within that folder and name this Wings and Pot Edited Photos. All right, so we're going to put it in that folder, and then that's good. All these other things you don't have to put into subfolders, add the catalog, all that stuff. You can just copy what I have here, and all of the rest of this stuff here, like export to, you want to make sure that's a specific folder. Just copy everything that I have down right here. And next we're going to go to file naming. We're going to make sure we want to click check on rename to custom name sequence. So this is going to name all of the individual names here. We're going to name this Wings and Pot Edited Photos, and the start number is going to be number 1, and extensions lowercase. Everything that I have here, just copy that. Video, we could minimize that, it's not a video, it's photos. Image format, JPEG is the way to go. Quality at 100 always. You don't want to give clients low quality photos unless they ask for it. A limit size file, click that uncheck. Color space, Rec 2020. I typically like to go with that, or sometimes RGB is good too. The sRGB, all those numbers and letters. That's a good one. HDR output, we could keep that unchecked. Image sizing, nothing checked there. Output sharpening, nothing checked there. Metadata, all metadata. Remove person info, remove location info, yes. Watermark is if you are giving free photos to somebody and you want to just have your watermark on there. It could be your logo or whatever it is, so that they don't take your photo and use it for something else. But since my clients paid for this, then it is there, so no watermark there. And post-processing, do nothing. After all of that is there, oh, and of course at the top we want to export it to the hard drive. Hopefully you have a hard drive too. All of the stuff you want to copy, and we're going to click export and wait for it to finish up at the top left, and I'll see you at the end of that part. Alrighty, so now the export has been finished. We can now exit out of Lightroom, bam, and we're going to check our edited photos, which is here, and let's see, everything is there. Nice. We have all the photos that we edited all there. All 89 photos are here, and it's finished and it is edited. So now we can go ahead and send this to our client. I hope this helped you learn how to use Adobe Lightroom Classic so that you can start editing photos for clientele and start making money with photo editing. So I'll be seeing y'all on the next episode. This is Joshua, aka Yak, and we are out. Peace.